Right, I've had all these tops off and I just want to show you this one because with this bike being stood for like 4 years, I think there's been petrol in there. Now if you look at that needle, it looks green, and that's what all that crap was that came out of it. Them needles, if I can just scrape it, should be lovely and shiny without any obstructions or anything like that. You can see there, looks from my fingernail, I've just been scraping it. One side it's clean, the other side it's green. I suspect that that's petrol that's gone off, and what it's done is just stuck to it. So these need cleaning. So I'll clean them before I put them away. And you can also see some green slime out of the jets as well. So what I'll do is that one there, I'll just quick take this off. It was actually the two inner ones. It were them two what had the green snot on. So right, let's put this up. Whatever you do, don't bend them at all. If you bend them, then they knat. So these are the jets now. That's full of green snot. So what we'll do is we'll just, did you hear it click then? All these are, they just look like tiny little screws with a hole through the middle, and the hole determines how much petrol goes through, and that's what's called the jet sizes. There's another one there. Now some of these, well, that's another one. I don't know if you can see it, but there's some tiny little holes there. And there's a hole down there as well. Now these floats, there's a tiny little pin through there. We need to get that pin out. This is all mancan, full of green stuff, so it's definitely petrol that's gone off. Is that? Definitely. So what I'm going to do, it'll just take, you've got to be fairly delicate with these, and it'll take too long, the video will be too long for me to do it. So what I am going to do is just leave the video as it is now and just basically show you the insides of carburetors, and then what I'm going to do later on, nice and steady, I'm just going to do one carb at once, take it in bits. I'm not going to detach them all, I'm going to leave them as the bank of 4, but I'll just work on one at once and I'll get rid of all this green slimy snot and clean it all up, because that'll never start in a month of Sundays, won't that? So it needs cleaning up and then putting back together. Just before we do go though, I'll show you some screws. So I'll just put that back on. I know I haven't put the jets back in, but I'm just going to put that on temporarily, just to stop any shit going in or out. If you can, when we put the carbs back on the bike, they'll more than likely need balancing. I've got a set of balancing gauges in there. Now if you can just see that screw there, there's a screw there and a screw there, and on the other side there's a screw there. When we come to balance them, that'll be another video itself, another separate video. What you do is you balance 2 carbs and then the other 2, and then you balance the 2 pairs together. And what it is, the ultimate goal is to make these rise at the same time. Oof, God, that's dead stiff. So the ultimate goal is to make these rise at the same time, so they all come up together, and that's what carb balancing does. So them screws there, it's important not to try and unscrew them just yet, and same as that, don't unscrew that, don't unscrew that. So that there, that's just a choke. So your cable comes across top here, and when you pull your choke lever, all it does is just pull that, and you can see these little plungers. There's one on each carb. Yeah, that just operates that. Now this, you can see there, there's two screws. Now it's them stupid bloody Torx things, because as far as I know, if you undo them and twist it around, this has got to be set to a certain angle for that to work. So you can connect it to some sort of multimeter and twist it, and it's got to be a certain reading. So we're not going to bother with doing that. So I can't really show you much here because it'll just take too long. But what I will do is, you've seen what it's like, full of this green gunk and all this rubbish. I'll show you, I'll do a 2-minute video just to show you what it's finished like after I've degreased it. So we'll call it a do it that, and the next video you see on the carbs, they'll be finished. Right.